what is it good for? And if you're new here, this show is basically where Brandon and I process random thoughts, annoyances, curiosities that show up in our lives periodically. We voice them here for you guys to join in and listen.
This is where joy comes to die. Welcome to the podcast. Thanksgiving is breathing down our necks, and we're diving into a topic we've complained about, we've avoided, we've renegotiated, and of course, as we do, we've overanalyzed it for years. Holidays, rituals, traditions, all the stuff people assume you're supposed to love.
Because somehow being a holiday person is considered a default setting where you're supposed to get excited, plan the meals, take the photos, buy the gifts, and even if the whole thing stresses you out, you're expected to show up.
Which, spoiler, it does for me and Bridget. But we still participate. We put on our faces and we show up.
Yes, but not because we're overflowing with festive joy, but because not participating sometimes feels like we're failing as a son or a daughter or parents or just humans in general.
No, this leads to the bigger question of this episode. Why do humans create rituals in the first place? And how do we break the cycle of participating in traditions that cause us stress and anxiety? Are we searching for meaning, or just afraid of what it says about us if we don't do what everyone else is doing? That's the question.
So let's get into it, and maybe we can discover whether we're creating rituals or are the rituals creating us.
Good point. Good point. All right, here we go.
In my opinion, there's a lot of expectations that come around the holidays. And when I say holidays, it's not just Thanksgiving or Christmas. I mean, you've got Valentine's Days, anniversaries, birthdays, Mother's Days, Father's Day. I mean, the list goes on. There's expectations. I know for me personally, when it's my birthday, I know I can tell you, I can list off, I know the people that will be calling or sending me a text. I know the people that will be giving me a gift. And it's not that I don't appreciate their efforts, their thoughts, their generosity. I get frustrated with the sense of obligation that comes with it. The fact that okay, I know if I go to the store, I've got to get a car for this person, that person. There's just a sense of pressure that comes for me when I know someone's birthday or anniversary or a certain holiday's coming up that I have pressure to acknowledge.
Yep.
And I know, like with Christmas in specific, Jeremy and I, we've been torn over the years because neither one of us really like participating in that holiday specifically. But when Chloe came along, we also did not want her to be like this only child that grew up without having the traditional Christmas experience. And so we participated. We didn't want to be a bad parent. We didn't want her to think, oh my goodness, my parents are so weird, which I think she already does. But we're still working on not her feeling like she is getting left out of that experience. But I feel that there's a lot of social scripts that are written into these holidays that we follow blindly without stopping to ask why we are doing it. When would you say you first realized you weren't a holiday person? Because I know for us both, growing up, we as kids looked forward to Christmas, our birthdays, etc. But when would you say as an adult that you've realized, okay, this is not something I enjoy doing anymore?
Sometime in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware of the whys. I just knew that I didn't enjoy them. I didn't enjoy the whole. I know what happened, but mine probably started when I was in college and I had this job in retail. And I think everyone should have a part-time job or something in retail in your college experience. Because if you haven't seen the underbelly of humanity in the Christmas rush season and you're behind the cash register, you're missing out. It's just... It destroyed it for me. I think that's when it started dying, when I saw the commercialization and the horribleness coming out in people. Because I'm like, hey, this is supposed to be the holiday of excitement and joy. No, if it was stressed out, people cursing at you because they didn't get their deal or you ran out of an item. And coupled with our unique family situation, I think those who have large families and are close-knitted, they're really tight, those traditions mean something to them in a way that you and I probably don't have a way to relate to very strongly. You know, my sense of family really started disappearing in the early 20s. And by the mid-20s, you know, my 20s, I was completely disconnected entirely. So why should I participate with Christmas? You know, Christmas, I remember doing it because I think mine came about was like, why am I pressured to spend all this money every year to participate with something that I just think is stupid? Yeah. Not the giving of gifts. I think giving is a good thing, but this whole ritualistic thing I didn't relate to. And, of course, as the years progressed, you know, with family members dying, that also created a negativity around Christmas time. You know, it's very hard for me to go back to our grandmothers now because so many people have passed away. And I think I lost the wonder pretty early on. Yeah. With it. And I think that's because just the lack of familial connectivity around those holidays.
Right. Well, I know we're not alone in this. I mean, you could do a quick Google search and you will see forums and different people posting about dreading the holidays. They dread the obligation. So that blows up the question for me. Why do we keep doing it? Why are we following this tradition blindly and not questioning it? Why are we not rewriting the script on this?
Because it's fun.
Okay, I missed fun time somewhere.
We are happy. Celebrate it. Well, you know, we like to think of ourselves as being independent-minded entities. But in reality, we're very species-oriented, very group-oriented. And to go against the conclave, the accepted norm, makes people feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Because what is normal to them, and they project that normalcy onto you when they encounter you and you're not following that script, they have to reason within themselves, why is there this difference? We can point in case. You and I were not raised around sports. Right. And so here in the South, when you meet a stranger, they don't even have to know your name. And I have gotten to the place where I love doing this to people. It is phenomenally fun for me. I could be at a doctor's office. Someone go, hey man, what'd you think about that game last night? What? I don't wait. I look at them for about 2 seconds of silence and I say, sir, I'm way too busy to waste time celebrating how far a kid can throw a pigskin down a grassy lawn. And that usually just completely throws people for a loop. Because they don't know how to process someone who doesn't celebrate Alabama and Auburn football. And I'm not against it. I love just being honorary. We also were raised where we didn't believe in Santa Claus. I remember going to our relatives. What's Santa Claus going to bring for you Christmas? And so as a 5-year-old, I would say, oh, I'm a Christian, I don't believe in Santa Claus. So, I mean, these relatives are dedicated Christians, and so you gotta wonder what they were thinking about us looking on, like, what are those parents teaching those kids? But in hindsight, that lack of disconnectivity from the normalcy of society placed you and I in a unique position to have a sense of natural criticism that other people just don't have. And if you pause and say, if you cause the participants to pause and ask, why are you doing what you're doing, that makes them feel uncomfortable. They may not have the mental acuity to explain why they do it. And when you don't have an answer, the ambiguity makes people highly irritable or uncomfortable. That cognitive dissonance that we talked about. So people don't like to think very deeply. And so when, like, for instance, if you brought up the fact of, well, why are we spending all this money on gifts when none of us need any of this and half of the stuff is going to end up in the trash someday? Why do we do this?
Right.
Why don't we really do what the holidays are about, and that's getting together and knowing each other rather than impressing each other with how much money we spent on a gift? So that makes people go, well, if I'm doing that, then I've got to explain to everybody, well, what'd you get for Christmas? Oh, I didn't get anything for Christmas. What do you mean you didn't get anything for Christmas? Well, we don't do that. Why don't you do that? And so then you're stuck having to answer these uncomfortable questions, and you're the outlier. You're the weird one. Well, if you are I got to tell you, if you're a thinking individual, and you're making decisions from a rational standpoint rather than mind-numbingly going along with the music, you are an outlier. And I'm not condemning people because they participate with Christmas and buy people presents. I'm not talking about that. I think what we're getting at is beyond just the holidays. We're talking about a mindset of how and why you participate in certain rituals, and do you pause to think about what is influencing this. And we can see this, like, it blows my mind. Dedicated Christians, and I'm not harping on religion here, but dedicated Christians, and they hook, line, and sinker swallow this whole Halloween stuff. The witches and all the crap that goes along with that. And you ask them, why do you do that? Why in the world is you as a Christian, when you get to the Easter season, you're celebrating a bunny that lays chocolate eggs? You say, stop being a party pooper, Brandon. No, I'm asking a legitimate question. Oh, now I got to reflect on why I'm doing what I'm doing. Don't make me uncomfortable like that. Don't present questions that make me pause and think about how I'm going along with life, because, quite frankly, it would scare me to realize that I'm just a mind-numbingly boring drone that's following in line with the dictation of the world, and I'm not thinking about my own value system. And then there's the underlying issue. Am I really a free thinking individual? Or am I being lulled to sleep by the matrix in which I'm participating to make me believe that I'm free? But in reality, I am so zoned in, so tied in with the concepts and principles of the world around me that I'm truly not a free-thinking individual. And therein is the underlying angst. People don't think that deep. But that's what, once they get there, oh man, it is costly to become a rational thinking individual where you are applying a healthy sense of criticism to every aspect of your life, because then you're going to start questioning everything. This is going to apply to politics. People don't think about politics. People vote with their amygdala and the hippocampus. They never have rationale going on. Oh, I'm voting this guy because he feels patriotic. Why? I guarantee why he feels here. More faith, family, and football. And then you get, especially in Alabama, that's how you get voted, right? That's how you get in office. Just get them to scream those things. Because people don't think. We mind-numbingly scroll through our phones, and the ads, the entertainment shapes our values. And people don't want to be confronted with that, because that means you have to pause and undo most of the way that you construct your life. And that is too That's too deep. As I never forget that one person in church years ago, they were talking about worship styles, and I was critiquing worship styles. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like the whole, man, we got to have a fog machine. Why do you have a fog machine? Why do you have to have music that's so loud that sounds like a rock concert? What? And I started, and she stopped me. She said, "Is her words? I do not come to church to think. I come to church to feel."
Mom.
So that's the deeper issue on this superficial conversational topic of why are we doing traditions? Why are we following rituals? Well, we're not attacking traditions for themselves, because some of them are good. I mean, I think traditions have a place, but are we just doing it because, well, I'm supposed to do that? And people like you and me, who refuse to do that for that reason, will be seen as odd. And I have learned to realize that I'm a very odd individual, because the rest of the world is just plain stupid. I'm sorry. The world's values, music, entertainment, its obsession with sports, we just go along with it. I'm like, what? Think about sports for a second. I want to come down on sports. And this is where I'm getting hot. You don't play that football. I can get it if you played on that team and you went to that college. You know, I have a brother-in-law that played at Vanderbilt. I get it. He was part of that team and he loves it. Man, that's yours. But your average redneck out there that's got a beer gut and never played football, you didn't play for that team. I mean, you know, I love Alabama, I can't stand Auburn. Or I love Georgia, I can't stand Tennessee. Wow. How do you develop an affinity for something in which you're not a part of?
You're born into it.
Well,
a lot of them.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. You're born into it. What makes you adopt that? Why do you not stop and say, why is this important? And if you come up with a good reason, that's great. But are you just mind-numbingly going through life, not understanding why you're doing what you're doing? And that can, I mean, I've been several years as a music minister. Mm-hmm. Lord mercy, I get all my feathers ruffled over small things on why people do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I had a woman at the last place that I served completely lose her cotton-picking mind because a candle wasn't lit.
Like during the service?
Yeah, but you know, it's the type of service they have candles lit for part of the ceremony. One of the candles or two of the candles didn't get lit, and this woman was absolutely out of her cotton-picking mind. Just making a fit right there in the service.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, why is it that these trivial things mean so much to us? We attach so much value to them without understanding why. So, all right, there's my story.
Yeah. Well, I can't get over the waste that is linked.
What? You don't want to spend $3,000 on a 25-foot inflatable Santa Claus? You out of your mind. You are cotton picking crazy if you don't want to do that, because that is joy. That is happiness.
It is for some people. I just don't get it. Like,
yeah.
All right. So you were commenting. I think it was just yesterday we were talking on the phone about yours and Nagia's observation of how different Chloe is from me and Jeremy. Like,
yeah.
She is growing up in our home, exposed to our way of thinking, but yet she is so different.
Yeah.
And she, every year, every Christmas, it's like, Mom, why are you not decorating outside? Why do we not have inflatables outside? Mom, why are you blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not going out there and spending all of this money on something that has no meaning. But it does mean something to her. I don't understand it, but it does. And she's not alone in this.
No.
So people, they are not, I think, going out there and spending their hard-earned money on things that don't matter to them.
That's
it
right.
has to have some meaning. I just don't know what that is. I can't relate to it.
And here, I said something to Nagia. Was it you or Nagia? I think it was Nagia yesterday. Maybe it was you. I'm sorry if I forget. I feel that I'm trapped in a species to which I don't belong.
Yeah, I think that was you and me.
It was you and me. Is that what
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel trapped
Yes.
in something that there's so little of the world in general that appeals to me.
Mm-hmm.
That I sometimes wonder, man, someone dropped me off at the wrong planet.
Right.
The music. I as a music educator, I gotta tell you, you parents out there that are just mind-numbingly stupid about what you allow your kids to listen to freely and watch. And you don't, I'm not alone. I saw an interview with Prince. Is it Prince William, the England?
There's Prince Harry and Prince William,
the oldest one.
Yes.
They have some children, and he told a reporter, and this was recent. He said, my children are not allowed to have social media or cell phones. It's too much crap, and I won't let them have access to it. There's a thinking individual, and you can imagine parents going, "Oh, they're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out." I mean, but if you're thinking that freely, I know what it's like to be odd, to have a problem with, like, for instance, someone like me. I've never been drunk. I've never done drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just don't get. Why would you want to do that to yourself?
Yeah.
So if you spend your life thinking, doesn't mean you're going to not have problems. But if you think you're thinking through things more deeply, the best outcome is that people think you're weird.
Yeah.
And I know that. I'm an oddball, and it's not. And ironically, I was just telling Nagia this the other day. I've spent 20-something years trying not to be odd. And I've turned out to be the weirdest unicorn of them all. You should see, I've done some job interviews along the way. My career is like all over the place because I like doing. It's fascinating to watch strangers look at me, and they do not know how to process. They like what they see, but they don't know how to process it. I've only had some people say, "I'm not for sure what to do with it, but that sounds interesting."
Yeah.
I had one lady tell me, she says, "Wow, you got a lot of potential, but I don't know what to do with it." Oh boy, did we go down a rabbit trail here. I'm sorry, this is my fault. This is why you have episodes that are supposed to be like 30 minutes long, but they're like an hour and a half long, because you dare open a can of worms. And boy, I don't want to talk the hind end of a donkey.
Well, the last episode I had to do by myself because you weren't here. Got it done in 16 minutes. I was like, that's a record.
Oh, now we have found the part of the equation that's contributing to the lengthiness of these podcasts. Well, I don't have a social life, so I think this is the extent of my social life right here. So I get to get all my words. You know what Chloe says? I got a lot of words I got to get out. This is how I get my words out, okay? Hey, let's get back on track. Our script, people. I don't even know where we're at now. Go for it. Tell me where I need to be.
I was going into the waste, and then we somehow got off on your career.
Hey, there we go. There we go. If anything, this podcast answers the question, what would it be like to work with an ADHD individual? Well, I'm telling you, squirrel.
Oh, my goodness.
You do not want up in here. I'm telling you, son. I'm telling you.
Oh, wow. Well, I was actually reading the other day on the subject of just the waste in relation to holidays, and I forgot the exact number, but it was over $500 billion spent in the U.S. for Christmas alone. Over $500 billion. And I struggle with how so many people get all bent out of shape over the fact that people say happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas, because they imply that Christ has been taken out of Christmas, but yet then they turn around and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on Christmas related events such as decorations, food, gifts, etc., travel, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, where in that equation is Jesus? If you're claiming Jesus is the reason for the season, but all of your actions are pointing toward the fact that it has absolutely nothing to do with Christ himself.
No, it does. It's amazing that that religious holiday has been commercialized, and now people participate with Christmas who are not of that religion, right?
Well, if you go even further back, I mean, the Romans actually had a holiday predating Christ that honored the god Saturn. I mean, they would take a whole week off during that month, and the servants would become basically the masters, and they would be served. They
really?
exchanged, yeah.
Cool.
I actually read about this, and I'm like, what has happened is a lot of these holidays just got taken over by Christians and rewritten to fit their narrative.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, I don't blame Christianity for what is Christmas today. This what we know of Christmas falls under the category of commercialization. We could say the same thing about Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
Oh my Lord. What a hard
Mother's Day, Father's Day. I mean, they're all very commercialized.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could say this, this is where it's going to be, I'm going to get in hot water, July the 4th. Independence Day.
Yes.
Independence Day.
Billion money in this, you're burning money in the sky.
You are. And if you dare question it, then you're not patriotic. Well, what's patriotism mean? What do you mean? Well, we're celebrating freedom. Whose freedom? You think Independence Day means the same thing to you as it does like to the American Indian? No. How about with Najia being African American, it's interesting watching her family respond to some things.
I bet.
Because they've been very, very influential in helping me see the other side of the equation.
Yeah.
What it means to people that have historically been oppressed, and July the 4th doesn't mean the same thing as it would to you and me. That didn't mean anything to them, that their ancestors.
Yeah.
No. Matter of fact, I didn't even know anything about the Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah.
Until a few years ago. And so when we approach these holidays, I have no problem with people celebrating.
No.
You know why? But July the 4th is really hard on me intellectually. Because one, I don't like all the fireworks going off. And then people don't understand what that does to animals.
Yeah. And you've got our veterans that have suffered
okay, PTSD. Let's talk about veterans. Oh, yeah. So, we have veterans that have been bombshelled to death. And then we're going to take them out there to the fireworks and set...
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So I'm not against coming out... Well, actually, I am against fireworks. I don't understand the money that's lost. Because it's just a PR stunt. For, a little city here, they spend lots of money every year on the fireworks. I'm like, why?
It's about community, from what I've been able to gather.
Okay.
I don't get that personally, but I understand it means something to others.
Yeah, the word you're looking for is people. Yuck.
I think the only reason I can get it slightly is just because my daughter is one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
And she craves that community. She craves tradition. She craves those rituals. Yeah. I don't. And I try to have conversations with her to make her think. And she's like, Mom, you are weird. You're different. I am not like that. I like this. And I don't know why, but I do. like, I mean, she and I will have these conversations, and Jeremy, he gets a lot more bent out of shape, I think, because he wants, I think, to convert her to his way of thinking, whereas I'm trying to get her to think for herself.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And I've learned with her, you cannot go in there quizzing her, because she just locks down and gets upset because she doesn't have the answers. I don't think any of us have the answers as to why we do these things. But for her personally, I know she finds fulfillment and enjoyment. And I think that's something you and I lack. Therefore, we can't relate.
That intra-personal dialogue, the ability to analyze why I'm feeling what I'm feeling and pull back the layers on why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that is as common as you and I would make it out to be. I have come to view most people as drones. They are not awake. They are pursuing whatever values have been impressed upon them by the environment into which they have been born, or in the environment into which they are currently existing.
Yeah.
And it requires an immense amount of courage to say, I'm not doing that. I know that's what you guys expect of me, but something doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's me. Now, back to Chloe. I know this is definitely a rabbit trail. It'd be interesting to see her perspective and feedback when she's in her 30s. Because she's not only having to contend with you and Jeremy, she's also having to contend with me and Najia. We are all very quiet people. We're introverts big time. We love quiet reflection time. And I don't think Chloe could have asked for a more opposite environment in which to be born. And so there are times where I think about her well-being. I think about how that's whatever struggle you and I would have with the level of energy that she brings to the table, she has the same. It's the opposite with you and me and with Jeremy. Because it is so different. And that challenge is, well, I think this can apply to all of us. How do we create an environment where people feel free to be themselves?
All right. So on that, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
On that note, so I know we covered Halloween briefly. Chloe being 15, we participated when she was younger in going like to her schools and doing like these trunk or treats.
Yeah.
I don't get Halloween as a general holiday. I don't get the history behind it, and I've never liked it. But it's one of those things where if your child is in this social community and she's the only one left out, how does that affect her growing up and her overall well-being? Does it harm her to participate and go and dressing it up as a princess and going from car to car and getting treats? Mine and Jeremy's vote was no. There's no harm in her dressing as a character that she likes and taking part of in a safe environment. So she did that for years. We did that for her. And this past year, she's like, I don't want to do this. This is just stupid. I was like, sure. But I told Jeremy, I was like, I know for a fact, come Halloween night, she's going to be the only kid that's not participating, and she's going to feel left out. So my preemptive move was...
At 15?
Oh, yeah. Sure enough, Halloween rolls around, and she's like, scrambling through her closet. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm trying to find a costume something I can wear as a costume. I'm like, Chloe, you said you didn't want to participate. She's like, I know, but everyone at school's participating and I just don't want to feel left out. And I was like, Chloe, we don't have anything. You said you didn't want to. And sure enough, she was upset. But what I did preemptively was I scheduled us a night to go out as a family to do something Jeremy and I didn't want to do, but I did it for her because I knew that participating in something would be more rewarding for her than staying home and feeling like she missed out on any social event.
I'm trying to remember as a kid if I ever had this feeling of I'm missing out because I guess I had some things, but it wasn't related to Halloween.
I remember Halloween rolling around and we were like made to shut off all the lights and look like we're not home. So, because
yes,
that was the devil's holiday. We weren't allowed to participate.
God, I hope some psychologist gets a hold of these episodes and starts writing a book. Wow, can you imagine the case study we could bring to the? That's a lot to unpack there. Lights are out, shotgun loaded.
No.
Let's pick off some kids. A great family.
I do remember someone showing up one time. We were living at the parsonage, and Mom went to the door, and I remembered that the kid was like trick or treat. And I remember feeling, wow, that's interesting. They're just going up to someone's house and asking for candy. I remember Mom going into our pantry trying to find like a cookie or something to give the kid because we didn't have anything.
Here you go, you hell-bound sinner. Be blessed. Feel lucky that I have dared to entertain you.
Oh.
Good Lord Almighty. What's wrong with us? Oh, boy.
There are, I think, some, if you want to even call them consequences socially for not participating. And maybe specifically related to Christmas, I know the labels Grinch and Scrooge get tossed out a lot. So if you're not participating in the way that someone thinks you should be, then you're labeled a Grinch or a Scrooge. And well, I know this is hitting close to home. And I know one of your favorite holiday movies is The Grinch too.
Well, that's not. Hate, loads entirely. So great.
But on the topic of like obligations, I know, we've watched The Big Bang Theory, and Sheldon Cooper like really nailed it when he labeled gift giving as basically an algebra equation where he says, you haven't given me a gift, you've given me an obligation. So you're stuck calculating what's equal here, what's appropriate, what's not going to offend someone, what's not going to disappoint them, what's going to make me look thoughtful but not excessive, what keeps the relationship balanced. I mean, there's a lot that pressure that goes into a gift.
Yes.
And it's become to the point like, okay, I know if someone's giving me a $75 gift, that I need to go out and make sure I give an equal or similar value gift. And it killed me a lot of times at Christmas. Newly married, we did not have money at all. Going home for Christmas, and I'm showing up with a $50 gift, and that was stretching our budget. And Dad's handing out thousands of dollars. And I'm like, I don't even know how to accept this graciously, because inside I felt so inadequate because the relationship balance for me was so off.
Yeah.
I'm showing up with this $50 box of chocolates or something, and he's handing out $100 bills.
Yeah.
And it's not that the gratitude's not there, it's the pressure that's there that makes me feel a bit resentful to holidays, because I dread that pressure and that stress.
Well said. That key word of balance is a wonderful illustration in layman's terms of a theory I've probably shared a few times on the episodes called the social exchange theory. Mm-hmm. it's one of my favorite theories because it is a very cold, calculated look at the summation of human behavior. It has to maintain equilibrium through perceived value exchanges. And we're constantly making sure that our ledgers are in balance. I don't owe anything to you, you don't owe anything to me, so the law of reciprocity is happening there.
Yeah.
Because if there is an imbalance, then I have to deal with that cognitive dissonance and explain that somehow, and that requires a lot of brain caloric demands to process that. We'd rather not deal with those. We'd rather push them aside. So yeah, I know in my own personal life, I hated Christmas. When I got married, I was like, what's the point of this? And I'd much rather buy my wife a present throughout the year or do something special that is not obligatory.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But the thing is, Jeremy does that all the time for me, and I love that. I mean, we don't acknowledge birthdays and anniversaries, Valentine's Day, but throughout the year, he'll notice, oh, your AirPods are very outdated, and he'll surprise me with new ones. Or he will do something very generous just out of the blue that he's paid attention that I needed. And what's really hard is for me how to reciprocate that, because I don't make money. I don't have a job. So anything I get for him, I mean, it's money he's made. Even though he doesn't view it as his money, but at the same time, I'm stuck feeling, okay, if he wants something or needs something, I'm just using his money to get it. And so it's left me in a very odd situation.
Power struggle. This gift-giving can be a power struggle.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. And one of the things I've observed about society is these traditions and expectations can be a breaking point for people determining whether or not someone truly loves them. Oh, you didn't get me a ring that's big enough. You didn't give me what I need in order to appear on Instagram or TikTok, how well in compliance I am with the social expectations of success. Thereby, you obviously don't love. So it's a very selfish interpretation of love. And that commercialization is driving that. I think the most critical tool that we can instill in young people, particularly at the high school level, is critical thinking about the values and encouraging bravery. That even if you are going to be the outlier, be true to yourself.
Yep. I've had that conversation with Chloe so many times. And I love the fact that, I mean, this is really, really small, but she started doing her hair a bit different. And she's like, Mom, I really like this, but no one else does their hair like this. And so I feel odd. And I was like, well, Chloe, you say you like it. Yeah, I do. I was like, well, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything that hurts anyone. Yes. You're not doing anything that negatively reflects you.
Yes.
It's... And she did it. She went to school with her hair that way, and she came home. She's like, Mom, some of the girls really liked my hair. And I was like, look, there you go. I mean, it's small things. It's small changes that we can make where we're not fitting into everyone's mold, but and I'm skipping ahead, but Ralph Waldo Emerson had a quote that I just love. He said, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail.
Holy, whoa. Read that again.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail.
Wow.
I had that further down in the episode's outline, but it fits so well here.
Wow. I gotta let that sink in for a second. Do you understand how that addresses questions like, what am I supposed to do with my life?
Oh, yeah.
What's important to me? Read it one more time for me.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail.
That is not for the faint at heart. That is for people that say, I don't care what you think of me, but this feels authentic for me.
Yes.
And I'm not going to enforce this on anyone. I'm not going to demand people give me approval. I'm not going to ignore advice. But I'm going to be willing to be me. This is so in sync with what's been happening with me this year. Was a willingness to just be, and I say this respectful of myself, the awkward self that is me.
Mm.
I could just name so many countless moments in my life where I was just awkward. I was odd. And it wasn't because I was trying. I was actually trying my best to not be odd. But what a shame to spend your entire life and you never allow yourself to be you, while trying to conform to whatever you perceive to be the values of other people and their expectations of you, but they may or may not have been thinking about you at all. And so I think the resolution I have is not to be different for difference sake. No. But I want to be authentically me. And not judge the outcome. If I can get to the place where I can judge, where I can allow myself to be me without judging the outcome of social consequences or financial consequences.
Mm.
Can I be at the place where who I am is? This is diving. Wow, this is getting deep fast. This is diving into meaning, right? And what the fulfillment in life.
The whole point of this is, I think holidays are supposed to have meaning, but they have evolved to the point to where we operate on autopilot, and we've lost the intention behind the holiday. And one thing, when I was working on this, I wrote this down. Rituals or traditions, rituals without reflection and intention simply become performance.
Yeah.
So all we're doing, we're performing when we take out the intention and we stop to reflect on the overall purpose behind what we're doing.
Yeah, think about a simple tradition that has evolved in the last 20 years thanks to social media. We gotta get our family picture made and stick it on Facebook.
Yeah.
We gotta have just the right fall look, the right pose, the right song. Why?
Or the matching Christmas pajamas.
Oh God, no, man. I can't say too much about that because my wife's family loves doing these matching pajamas.
Okay.
So I participate in that. There you go. See, I'm
okay.
Like, oh, this is so silly. But you know why do I do that? Because apparently it means something to those people that are important to me.
Yes.
So
and the same with us and Chloe. The reason we're still participating in some of these traditions and holidays, because it means something to the people that are in our lives.
Well, I'm a little sneaky about the whole Christmas thing.
Okay.
I hate spending all the money. I hate all the efforts of putting up Christmas tree. But Nagia loves that stuff. I mean, you saw how happy she was when she came to your house the other day, and you had done it.
Yeah.
She'll still talk about it. She just loved it. I can't stand any of it. You know. My attitude. I love our cousin Clint. You know, he's passed away, but when this cousin Clint was just, he had an unfiltered way of saying things when he was a boy. And for those, I'll tell the story, Nana had this huge Christmas tree, and he had to be like 3 or 4. I remember I was sitting in there in the living room with Pawpaw.
Yeah.
And he came marching in, and Nana said, "Hey, what do you think about Nana's Christmas tree?" And I never... Clint doesn't know that to this day I quote him. He goes, "Push it over." Oh, God, I love it. It's like my happiest memory of Christmas is Clint Clacker going, "Push it over." And God, it personifies that frustration of, I'm tired of all of this mess. Just burn it. He wouldn't think he was a 4-year-old. He was just being ornery. But that's been my attitude about a lot of these things. And what I've done, I've been a little sneaky with Najia. I've convinced her, let's not spend the money on Christmas presents because we don't need anything.
Mm-hmm.
She still loves gifts. Gifts is a love language for her, so we got
sure.
So I don't mind doing it. I've convinced her, let's go spend all this money on going on a cruise. A true vacation that we would enjoy and have meaning for ourselves. Okay, that's not something to other people. So we don't even do birthdays. No, my birthday. I don't think her birthday is excluded yet. I haven't gotten that far. I don't think I can get that. Right.
Well, but that's hard when you're dealing with someone whose love language is gifts.
Yeah,
it means something to them.
It does. It does. But then again, I feel pressure from that situation because her taste. They're not like I can go down to local gift shop and get something. To get things that are really special and meaningful, it's so expensive, and not because she demands that. It's like, I gotta spend this money, and so I'm with you on the whole gift thing because it's like, I don't need it. Please don't give me anything. Please don't. No. And I don't like going through the process of trying to figure out, what can I get that makes you feel happy, so you look at me and go, oh, he thinks about me, he thinks I'm special. I'm doing these. It's also a mind game. It's exhausting to me to go through this. That's what I go through when it comes to gift giving and Christmas and holidays and stuff.
Yeah. Now, I completely agree. Well, and on that note, I mean, and this is sort of jumping ahead, I think, to Section 5, finding a ritual that actually fits. So last year, I wanted to do something different because this has been something that has been an ongoing struggle in my life for several years now. And so instead of hosting everyone at my house last year, I said, no, I'm not doing it. And instead, we went to the beach. And here's the thing. What?
We did the same thing.
Yes.
I
and it was the best holiday ever, in my opinion. Yeah.
So the key to happiness is getting rid of the people. I got it. Check. You're not invited. You're not invited. You're not okay.
No, I mean, we still saw people. I just didn't host. I took off that pressure. We spent some time with Jeremy's mom. We dropped by and saw Mom, spent some time with her, and saw Nana, and we went to the beach and stayed there for a week. And, I mean, I know we got to spend some time with you guys, too, which was awesome. And it was so much more laid back, so much less stress. Jeremy and I, we didn't do gifts. I mean, we got Chloe a thing or two, but the trip, that was our gift to us. It was the experience. This is how we found our inner peace. This is how we find celebration meaningful. And the problem is, after that, I always like to do what I think the Army calls an after-action report. I like to sort of
let's be getting on the ball. All right, for those of you who don't know what just happened, we just quoted an old movie called
At War in the Army. Yes.
Jerry Lee Lewis. If you haven't watched that, please go watch that. Dean Martin, that's right. Let's begin on the little
the problem is, Chloe, even though she got what she wanted in regards to on her Christmas list, she did not find that experience fulfilling. She missed the tradition. She missed the rituals of people being at our house on Christmas Day and having the
camaraderie, the sense of connection.
Yes.
Interesting.
And so that puts me as a parent in a very difficult position of how to be authentic for myself and for Jeremy while still meeting the needs of my daughter. Just like with you giving Najia gifts, that's her love language that you want to do to fulfill that need. And so I'm still stuck in this trap of the holiday obligations and pressures because of what it means to someone else in my life that finds that fulfilling.
Well, that's an example of where if you truly love and care for other people, they do come at a cost. Sometimes there is a sacrificial experience, and that in and of itself, I think, is the exemplification of the season. Being able to give in a way that is not quite obvious, but I'm giving up what I would like to do to be able to make you find fulfillment and more in happiness, and that's wonderful. I have no problem with that. I think that's commendable for anyone that says, Gia knows I don't have to leave the house, man. I ain't got to go see anybody. I ain't got to go do anything, but I know for her sense of connection with her family is such a wonderful family is a lot stronger than what you and I would have with our little family. And so I never ever one time have ever complained about when if she wants to go see her family or go somewhere, I do it. She'll ask me, do you enjoy this? Do you enjoy it? I mean, nothing against those people or anybody. I'm a loner, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's important for relationships. Otherwise, you're just making it all about yourself, and that's not healthy either.
Well, and we've had this conversation with Chloe because she for the past month or so been counting down the days till Christmas. She's like, "Are you so excited?" I'm like, "Babe, remember, we are very different. We are wired differently. I do not get excited about the same things you do. I participate, I do these things for you because I love you and I know they mean something to you." And just like, so what we're doing this year, we're still going to do what means something to me and Jeremy. We're still going to the beach, but I'm having family here, not on Christmas Day, but on a different day that works for everyone. So it's a compromise. I had this open conversation with Chloe. I'm like, look, it's like, this is what you're wanting. This is what I'm wanting. Let's compromise. Let's find a way.
That's really healthy and fair. I love it. That's really healthy and fair. I think the takeaway from our discussion for anyone would be not abandoning holidays or traditions, but having the courage to, one, examine why you're doing what you're doing. And is it really and truly meeting your needs? And if it's not, have the courage to come up with something different. It was challenging for me and Najia to do a little different. We said no to family. We're not coming this Christmas. We're not doing that. We're going to go to, we went down there to the resort.
Yeah.
And to this day, and we're doing it again this year.
Yeah.
We're Thanksgiving, guess what we're doing? Going to the beach and getting in the hotel looking at the water. Yeah. Why? Because that makes us happy. That's not for everyone, right?
No.
That's not for everyone. And are we forsaking family? No. We have a family event I'm going to go to on our side because we have some people that are really aging, and this may be the last year I get to see them, and so they do have importance to me.
Sure.
But I think the challenge is if you're doing things in your life, it didn't have to be holidays. It could be maybe you grew up in a world where every year you bought season tickets to the football game, and you just don't enjoy it, but you're just participating because your family expects you to do that. Nothing wrong with doing that, by the way. I'm not condemning that. I'm just using that for example. I grew up hunting. We would spend lots of money every year, on time. I don't do that anymore.
Right.
It's not for me. I don't do it.
Yeah.
Having the courage to take a look at yourself and say, what is it? What fuels me? Time is so limited.
Yeah.
I want to spend all this energy and time in December around the holidays. I want it to be energizing for me so that I can face the new year, have some quiet time to reflect on what's important to me, what are some goals I want to set, and when I set those goals, and this might be another future episode we can do around New Year's, the goal setting. Why are you pursuing that?
Yeah.
Because the name of our podcast is what's life? What's it good for? It has a question, a rhetorical question built into it.
Yes.
And I believe there's little essences of that dropped in these little episodes we do where we don't have answers.
No.
We're actually asking rhetorical questions. I know I'll walk away from these things thinking, I'm going to think about this quote that you just shared. Be willing to take the path that doesn't exist. That's kind of reminiscent of Robert Frost's poem of
the two
roads,
two paths in the woods or something. It's been a while since I've read that.
He took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And it's a powerful poem, and it reflects that idea of being this trailblazer in your life, that you are willing to follow that beacon, that hone that's calling for you, and it may not be in step with the rest of society, and that's okay. Right. But we don't want to do things to be antagonistic. I mean, my friend says, there goes my camera. Sorry. My camera's completely frozen on. That's probably a better look for me. Let's just keep me blurry.
There you are.
I think you could have a negative reaction to holidays from a bad place. You are angry at people. You want to, and so you're avoiding them because you're just angry. That's also bad, right?
Yeah.
It's a Aristotelian mean is the quote, where you got to find the balance on that.
Yes.
So that's my takeaway from today's little discussion.
Well, I think the question I would like to leave with not just our listeners, but a question to myself also. Do our rituals reflect who we are, or who you feel pressured to be?
Yeah. Well, if your traditions bring comfort, connection, if there's nostalgia, I know what that's like, and that's wonderful, and I can appreciate that. But if they bring dread, exhaustion, financial strain, maybe it's time to reshape them into things that are meaningful and helpful.
Yeah. Because I don't feel like you have to burn money in the sky to be patriotic, and you don't have to go buy overpriced roses and chocolates to show your love, and you don't have to orchestrate your matching pajama sets to prove that your family's super close, and you definitely don't have to eat turkey on the 4th Thursday of November to show that you're thankful and you're full of gratitude.
I that brings us into question this sense of comfortability we would have. Okay, I did my ritual, therefore I can check that off and I'm compliant. And that's probably the bigger question. Are you willing to actually pull those values that you're professing to have and practice them on a year-round basis? I think rituals should feel grounding, not draining.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a quote, happiness, I think the Dalai Lama, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So being willing to, there you go, you're carving your own path, you're being independent, you're being true to yourself. This encapsulates the episode's key takeaway here. The meaning is created intentionally, not inherited, and rituals are only as good as the life they support.
Maybe life is good for the moments that feel true, not the ones that look impressive.
Indeed.
This has been Life. What is it good for? See you next time.